To new viewers, welcome, and to old viewers, welcome back. My name is Emely, and welcome to my podcast where we talk about anime and anime culture. So today's topic is Eat the Bags. So for those of you who don't already know, what even is an Eat the Bag? So in order to understand what an Eat the Bag is and why people make them, we'll have to first go over why do people buy so much merchandise in the first place. So for me personally, I love buying merchandise. I don't know if you're able to see from here, but I sort of on my little wall of just stuff I've bought. Oh god, it's not focusing. But here's just a couple of the things I've got. I love just spending money on things that I like a lot if they make me happy. So basically, Eat the Bag is just first of all, it comes from the Japanese word for itai, which is to hurt, or the feeling of hurting, and they got the loan word from English for bags. Literal definition is just a bag that invokes a feeling of hurting. And the reason it hurts is because you spend so much money on merchandise. So it's just a bag that you use with a clear front to display all your merchandise, show everyone I love this character or I love this series so much, I need all of you to see it. So I guess now the question is where's the fun in making it? So Eat the Bags actually started getting popular, around I want to say the 2010s in Japan, but then they actually blew up in popularity around 2015, and then they sort of became internationally known in I actually do want to say around the mid 2010s, sort of 2020s. So there's actually a really clear difference between the Japanese Eat the Bag and an American or European or whatever Eat the Bag. So their styles in doing them are actually, they're just very different. And so the reason for this difference is actually sort of just difference in aesthetics. In the international side, Eat the Bag sort of prioritize, individuality, just shoving as much merchandise as you possibly can onto a bag. And so these bags are very extravagant, very all over the place, but not in a bad way. They just, it's just about collecting as much merchandise as you possibly can, or even there can be bags very little merchandise, it's just about showing your love for the character. So I actually realized it would make way more sense if I showed what I was talking about. So I'm gonna show a couple of examples of American made Eat the Bags versus the Japanese made ones. So these are a couple of American Eat the Bags. So you can actually see that there's way more varied designs in the actual physical bags themselves. You have a cat-shaped one, you have a star-shaped one, and the type of merchandise used is sort of all over the place. You have some plushies, you have some can badges, you have some keychains, and there's also different characters too. It's not just limited to one guy, or one girl. It's just sort of, that's what I mean when it's sort of all over the place. It's not in a bad way because they're all very cute, and you can tell the person made it with a lot of love. So it's still very nice to see. So these are a few Japanese Eat the Bags I've gathered just from online. So first thing you'll notice is compared to the American Eat the Bags, these ones are way more just cohesive. They all have the same exact type of merchandise. This type of merchandise is referred to as a can badge. So the idea behind it is it's supposed to be more clean, it's supposed to be more aesthetically pleasing, and the attention isn't on the physical bags themselves. If you see the physical bags can pass as normal bags. That's the whole point of it. You can flip it around and it'll be a completely normal bag. So like I said, the focus isn't on the physical bags themselves. The focus is more what's inside them. And while we're on this topic, I actually have my own Japanese style Eat the Bag. So I don't know how good you can see it. So this, oh god, the light is really bad. This is, I guess, my own Japanese style Eat the Bag. It's very big. So it follows the same kind of rules where it's just all one type of merchandise. It's a can patch, and it's all of the same character. And the actual design of the physical bag isn't. I guess it's a little bit more showy than I guess the ones I've showed. But even then, it's not very crazy. It's still in the typical bag shape, and you can flip it around and like still use it as a normal bag, and like you can hide the design on the front. So this aesthetic of like having eat the bags be, having the same design on the front, and like having the bags, the physical bags having sort of designs that can pass as normal bags, it actually started maybe around late 2010s, early 2020s, and that aesthetic is referred to as ryosangata, which is, the Japanese, I guess, term for fast fashion. It sort of prioritizes like that sort of clean aesthetic. It uses a lot of like very girly colors, very girly like patterns, and it emphasizes just looking very feminine, and it's very popular among like female Japanese anime fans. So it's sort of like weaved its way into Japanese like fan like culture, and now you have the ita bags that are very like just have that clean aesthetic that's very pleasing to look at. And I would say it's actually kind of interesting, sort of, it's not only like manifested itself in the ita bags, but also just like the online culture as well. Like there's a lot of like rules that these people have set for themselves, in online spaces. So in, I guess, American online spaces, you can see there's a lot of like fighting amongst themselves, and like blocking and muting is taken as very personal. When people find out they've been blocked by someone, it's often like, oh, how did I hurt their feelings? What did I even say? What did I do? But I guess in online like Japanese like fan culture, in that little like subculture, people often have like very sort of specific lists saying like, if you draw this character like with another character, or like if you are a fan of this character who I also like, just block me like right now, or mute me, or like just don't show up in front of me ever. And this is sort of, it's not a way of like disrespect, it's more just to avoid seeing things that you don't want to see. So blocking and muting is taken not personally like at all. Like if someone's blocked you, unless you guys have gotten in like an online like altercation before, it's often just like, oh, maybe they just like draw this character and I don't like the way they draw them, or maybe I draw them in a weird way that they don't like, and it's just like, it's fine. So then I guess that begs the question of like, why even make these ita bags like this in the first place? Like, isn't that like crazy expensive? Like, wouldn't it be easier to just like buy a bunch of merchandise and just have different merchandise, and like, like the American ita bag? And personally speaking, like from my experience, yeah, it is crazy expensive, and I've made multiple ita bags like that as well. So that's not even the only Japanese style ita bag I have. Like it's just it's kind of crazy. But for that ita bag, for example, like for that size of ita bag, I spent around probably $55 for the international, including the international shipping. Sorry, and for the badges themselves, it was around $250, I think. But that's actually around the cheaper end, because usually it's very difficult to find those. So if I were to go like secondhand, including the international shipping, I would have probably spent maybe more than 2 times, 3 times that price. But I didn't, so that's good. So I guess for me personally, like the reason why I made it is because I like to just spend my money on stuff that I like. Like I have no problem with, giving money to series that I like because I like them. But for people in this subculture, they see it as a way of like possessiveness. Like they want to show off like, I like this character, the most, and like if anyone else likes him, they're lying. But I would say that's only for more the extreme cases. Like most of the time, people just do it as a way of like showing that they love them in a normal way in the first place. Like, they want to show everyone that this is their favorite guy or girl or something. They want other people to see that like they love them so much, and they want other fans to like, be able to connect with them, and they want people to sort of admire like the amount of hard work, the amount of money, the amount of resources they've put into being able to show off their merchandise like this. And you can absolutely say this for American ita bags too. Like it's the same exact thing. Like you want to be able to show that, you spent a long time liking this character or liking this series, and you want everyone to know that. And you want to be able to connect with other people who have the same interests as you, and that's like absolutely, that's fun. That's really fun. I like going outside and being able to see like, people's bags, and like, knowing that they're kind of like, even though it might be a different series or I'm not into that series, that they're like in the same sort of circle that I am. And I just think it's a really fun way to like display like your merchandise and like show, just how much like love and like attention you've put onto like your favorite things. So that concludes my podcast. Thanks for watching. I hope I inspired you guys to go out, buy merchandise, make your own eat the bag, or even if you don't want to make an eat the bag, just display it proudly, like, show everyone like just how much you love your favorite things, and like have confidence in like what you like, and go spend your money however you want. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.